The year was 1948. The United States had just emerged from the turmoil of the Second World War, soldiers were returning home, and the nation was beginning to reshape itself into the prosperous society that would dominate the mid-20th century. At this time, small objects of everyday life, like a single copper penny, carried not only purchasing power but also deep symbolic meaning. And while most people used these coins to buy a newspaper, a candy bar, or a cup of coffee, collectors and numismatists look back on these pennies today with a very different perspective. Among the coins of this era, the 1948 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark stands out as one of the most interesting and valuable. It is a coin that represents the story of American resilience, artistry in minting, and the unexpected fortune that an ordinary cent can hold decades later. In this video, we are going to take a long journey into the history, design, rarity, and collector fascination with the 1948 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. By the end, you will understand why this simple coin can fetch tens of thousands of dollars today, and why it has become one of the shining stars in the world of rare coin collecting. Let us begin with the historical background. In 1948, the United States Mint was working tirelessly to keep up with the needs of a growing post-war economy. Millions of Americans were working, spending, and saving, and coins were essential in the daily commerce of life. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, was already a beloved design by 1948. People were familiar with its iconic portrait of Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. It was the first widely circulated U.S. coin to feature a real historical person, and Lincoln's face on the penny became an enduring symbol of trust, honesty, and American spirit. On the reverse of the 1948 penny, you would find the simple yet beautiful wheat ears design. Two stalks of wheat curved along the sides, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. This design, also by Brenner, had been in use since 1909 and remained until 1958, making the coin widely known as the Lincoln wheat cent. Collectors adore this reverse design because it symbolizes America's agricultural roots and the importance of hard work and productivity in building the nation. Now, the specific variety we are discussing today is the 1948 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark. The absence of a mint mark means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the main U.S. mint facility at the time. While millions of these coins were produced, survival in pristine condition was not guaranteed. Most pennies went straight into circulation and were subjected to years of handling, wear, and damage. That is why collectors who discover a well-preserved example are willing to pay astonishing sums of money. But what makes this coin so special compared to other pennies of its era? The answer lies in a combination of factors: condition, rarity in top grades, historical context, and collector demand. For a coin minted in the late 1940s, the survival rate in near-perfect mint state condition is surprisingly low. The Philadelphia Mint did not always produce perfectly struck coins, and storage by banks and the public often exposed them to elements that diminished their luster. Thus, finding a 1948 penny with blazing original red surfaces, crisp strike details, and zero noticeable marks is an extraordinary discovery. Imagine for a moment holding one of these cents in your hand. The bright copper gleams as though it was struck yesterday. Lincoln's profile is sharp, his hair strands distinct, his jawline perfectly formed. On the reverse, the wheat ears are crisp, their individual grains visible, and the lettering is bold and flawless. To the trained eye of a numismatist, this is a small masterpiece of American coinage. To the untrained eye, it might look like just another old penny. This is the magic of numismatics, knowing when something ordinary is actually extraordinary. Collectors are driven by the thrill of owning these treasures. The 1948 penny without a mint mark is particularly coveted by those assembling complete Lincoln wheat cent sets. Imagine trying to put together a collection that spans from 1909 to 1958, with each year and each mint mark represented in the highest possible grade. Every slot in that album becomes a challenge, and some years are much harder to obtain in pristine condition than others. The 1948 issue from Philadelphia is one of those keys, not because of its mintage number, but because of the scarcity of examples that survived untouched. Auction records tell us an even more fascinating story. Over the years, some spectacular specimens of the 1948 no-mint mark penny have appeared at major coin auctions. Collectors with deep pockets and a passion for rarity have battled fiercely for them, driving prices upward. These are not just coins. They are pieces of art, history, and financial investment. Holding such a penny is holding a piece of 1948 America, a time when baseball legends like Jackie Robinson were breaking barriers, when families were buying their first televisions, when post-war optimism was high, and when copper pennies jangled in the pockets of citizens who never dreamed their small change could one day be worth a fortune. To understand the worth of this coin, we need to explore the concept of grading. Coins are judged on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect specimen that shows no marks even under magnification. Most surviving 1948 pennies fall in the lower ranges because of circulation. They are worth only a few cents to a few dollars. But when you reach the higher end of the scale, especially grades above MS-65 red, you enter the world of serious money. MS stands for mint state, meaning the coin has never been in circulation and shows no signs of wear. The term red refers to the vibrant copper color, which fades to brown over time. A full red mint state coin is exceptionally rare for a 1948 Philadelphia cent, making it the ultimate prize. Collectors and investors alike are drawn to these coins because they combine affordability at lower grades with astonishing value at the highest levels. A beginner can start collecting wheat cents with just a few dollars, but a seasoned collector can spend tens of thousands on a single extraordinary piece. This flexibility is part of the enduring appeal of Lincoln wheat cents. They offer something for everyone. Think for a moment about the journey of one of these coins. Struck in Philadelphia in 1948, it may have left the mint in a heavy canvas bag, been distributed to a bank, then handed out to a store, and finally received by an ordinary citizen as change for a purchase. Perhaps it sat in a drawer for decades, untouched, its luster preserved by accident. Decades later, it might be discovered by a young collector sorting through their grandparents' old coins, only to realize it was something far more valuable than pocket change. Stories like this are what fuel the dreams of coin collectors everywhere. Another fascinating detail about these coins is how they bridge eras. The 1940s were a time of great change in America, and coins like this represent continuity. Despite wars, economic shifts, and social transformations, the penny remained a daily companion for Americans. The wheat design was nearing the end of its run, soon to be replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial reverse. Thus, the 1948 cent is part of the final decade of the wheat series, making it historically significant as well. It is also important to recognize the artistry of Victor David Brenner. His design was groundbreaking in 1909 and remained beloved for half a century. The 1948 penny carries his vision, reminding us of Lincoln's enduring legacy. Collectors often say that holding a wheat penny is like holding a small tribute to one of America's greatest leaders. Now let us finally arrive at the question everyone has been waiting for. Just how much is the most pristine, rarest example of the 1948 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat cent worth? After all the history, design, and collector passion, the ultimate measure of a coin's importance is often its price in the marketplace. And so here is the astonishing truth. A single 1948 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark, in immaculate mint state condition, blazing red and virtually flawless, has been valued and sold for the incredible sum of $45,299.